Good morning. Chris Whelan here from the Center of Business Excellence, Building Better Businesses. I'm going to talk to you today about systems and processes. And the reason for that is because systems and processes are what should drive your business forward. They should give you the consistency that you need to make your business grow, to make it more profitable, to make it scalable. And let's just think about a couple of things there. Right? What do we know about the business landscape today? It's ever changing. It keeps changing all the time, whether it be this or that or the next thing. Business landscape keeps changing. And so the key thing as business owners is that we need to know what do we do to adapt, to adjust, to make sure that we keep ahead of the game, keep growing, keep building consistent profit, keep building the asset that we want to make sure that we can, in the future, have this thing which we can either work or not work, but it keeps paying us whether we work or not. So that's very important. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, how to do that. And the way to do it, in my view, is through great systems and processes. So I'm going to chat a little bit about that. Let's think for a second about what it means if you don't have great systems and processes. Well, consistency leads to mastery, right? Let me say that again. Consistency leads to mastery. Systems and processes give you that consistency. Without it, the opposite of that is chaos. Right? If you have no systems, you have no processes, you're not in control, you're not the master of your universe, if you like, you're in chaos. There's no middle ground here. You're either in control or you're not. It's a fairly binary thing. And if you're not in control, you'll know it and you'll feel very, very, very uncomfortable. So chaos is the opposite of it. There's an issue there around, of course, poor customer service. There's an issue around lack of direction. There's an issue around, hang on, what's going on? And there's a sort of constant nagging at the back of your head saying, oh, not quite sure what's happening. The flip side of that, of course, is that with good systems, good processes, with control comes clarity. With clarity comes satisfaction. And that means that you can go forward consistently. And what does that give you? It gives you more time because you're in control of what's going on. It gives you a better profit, so you have more money at the end of the month. A lot of people that I've been seeing over the last while say they're working flat out, but at the end of the month, they haven't got the money that they want. So it gives you that. And of course, it also gives you a better team, better satisfaction, because your team knows what's going on and they know what needs to be done. Give you an example. I was chatting with someone over the weekend, actually, about running an Airbnb, right? They've just launched the Airbnb, fantastic. Everyone knows what needs to happen. Person comes in, they stay the night, you've got to rip the sheets off, do the stuff. It seems simple. But here's the thing. This person has a checklist of exactly what needs to happen. What needs to happen when. Why do they do that? Because it makes sure that they don't miss anything out, right? So they have a checklist. It's a very, very simple system. Nothing gets missed. But what it allows is standardization. And with that standardization, it becomes simple and repeatable, right? Simple and repeatable. So the checklist does that. It allows quality control to be much, much easier. They know exactly what they need to do. They don't have to think about it too much. It's not in their head, not going to miss out. And of course, it's very, very important. It's crucial, in fact, for scaling. In the Airbnb case, that may not be the case, but in a general business sense, having the checklists allow you to scale because you know exactly what needs to happen. And that can apply to any aspect of business, whether it be customer service, whether it be product development, whether it be business development, everything you can think about. So an interesting example there. There's probably 4, maybe 5 things that I wanted to talk to you about systems and processes and what the different systems and processes are that you need in your business. Number 1, people and education. Now, we all know that people are your greatest asset. We've all heard that said, and it's absolutely true. The thing is, though, that people also need education. I would certainly add education into that. Why? Because you can then systemize the education processes for your people. It's no good having someone that was trained in 1950 and they've never done any education because they wouldn't be updated. They wouldn't be up to speed with what you need today. So people and education is one of the things that you want to look at. And it's, the comment of being your greatest asset, absolutely updated, staying relevant, very, very important. That could be conflict resolution. It could be onboarding. It could be recruitment systems. It could be training for your team. It could be group training. It could be individual training. There's a range of areas there that you want to systemize so that your people know exactly what their development path is as well. The old adage that a happy person is a productive person is true. The best employees that you want are the ones that are coming to work motivated, they're passionate, they know that they've got a future, they know that you care, that you actually prepare to invest in the education systems for those people. And whether it be disc profiles or other things, make sure that you're doing that on a regular, consistent basis. So point number 1, people and education. Point number 2, systems and technology. In a world that we live in today, everyone has, where's my phone? Everyone has one of these, a cell phone, and they're always on them, right? The systems and technology that we can use to automate the mundane, automate the routine. And the old adage of automate the routine, humanize the exception, applies today as it always has. The systems and technology could be your financial systems. It could be your how-to systems. It could be videos that you use to tell people how to get stuff done. The key thing here is data. Relevant data helps you to make great decisions and potentially to make decisions in real time. And that is very important. So how could you use your systems and your technology to make, your systems and your tech to make your decision-making better? Sorry, excuse me for that. And then the third thing, so point number one, people in education. Point number two, systems and tech. Point number three, delivery and distribution. Now, I've said a number of times, even in this little video, that consistency is king. Delivery and distribution is all about that. It's about making sure you've got the right schedules. It's about making sure you measure your stock turns. It's about making sure that if you want to, you can look at outsourcing logistics. How can you deliver better for that? What are your delivery costs? What are your minimum order quantities, depending on what sort of business you're in? Do you have reorder levels that you know about and that are triggered? You potentially, again, using systems and technology, your minimum order level kicks in, gets triggered, so you don't miss something. One of my clients orders a lot of their material from China. They need to make sure that they know when it's going to arrive. They need to make sure they know what they've got on hand. So how do you use systems and tech in the delivery and distribution space to make sure that works? So that's point number three. Point four, testing and measuring. Absolutely critical. What do I mean by a testing and measuring system? Test and measure everything. And I do mean that. Test and measure absolutely everything. Where are you currently? What works, right? What could be adjusted? And then, so test where you are, establish a baseline, make the adjustments, make the pruning that you need to do in whichever part of the business it is. Test that again, let it run for a couple of weeks and consolidate, and then rinse and repeat. Make sure you're keeping on testing and measuring. So what have I said? People in education, number one, systems and technology, number two, delivery and distribution, number three, and then absolutely critically, number four, testing and measuring. There's a fifth element that I would throw in, and that is, let's not underplay the role of organizational culture in making sure that your systems work. When you're developing your systems, involve your team. Don't just do it on your own. The reason I say that is because your organizational culture is what's going to make sure that things actually get done. I know a number of people develop great systems. They're on pieces of paper, they're not involved in their team, and they don't get used. That's not a great system. That's useless, right? To be blunt, that's absolutely useless. You need to involve your team because the organizational culture matters. So let's just recap them briefly. Consistency gives you mastery. Mastery gives you profit, right? Number one. Control and clarity gives you time. So consistency gives you mastery. Mastery gives you profit. Control and clarity gives you time. Number three, your overall systems, great systems, are run by good people. And that allows you as a business owner to make more profit, have better teams, better people, better growing environment, and of course, you're building an asset that works for you. Now, if any of this resonates with you, I would be absolutely delighted to talk to you about your business. In the link, jump onto my calendar, book some time, totally complimentary. I'd really like to do three things. One, understand your situation a bit better in your particular business. Two, what are your challenges? Then number two, let's figure out what some of the solutions might be to those challenges and then help you to put programs in place to get that done. I look forward to chatting with you. Have a fantastic week. All the very best. Bye-bye.